Welcome back, Love Nation. We are going to chapter 17, and there's only a few pages left. And we're going to get through this tonight. This should be the last chapter of this. And again, please like, share, and subscribe. Donate if you can. This has been a very, very long reading, and there's been some very interesting facts brought out in these allegations in this counter lawsuit for $250 million. This is definitely going to be probably one of the bigger stories of 2025, and it is only January. Let's get straight into chapter 17 of Justin Baldoni's counter lawsuit. Second cause of action: false light invasion of privacy. Plaintiffs against all defendants. Plaintiffs incorporate by reference each and every allegation set forth in paragraph 1 through 133 exclusive, as if set forth fully herein. As alleged herein, defendants and each of them publish false statements of and concerning plaintiffs. To the extent the trier of facts finds that these statements are not defamatory, plaintiffs are informed and believe and based therein allege that defendants and each of them intended them to depict plaintiffs in a false, fictionalized, and sensationalized light in order to catalyze public opinion toward plaintiffs, stir public discussion of the article, and draw readers to the Times. The article, as noted above, falsely portrays negative public sentiment toward Blake Lively as a result of premeditated smear campaign orchestrated by plaintiffs, intentionally exaggerating plaintiffs' power to manipulate public sentiment, mischaracterizing plaintiffs' stated motivations, and cherry-picking out of context, incomplete, and sometimes doctored private communications as a result of these deliberate choices, which seems transparently intended to elevate Lively and restore her reputation rather than accurately portray the events described therein. Millions of readers, as well as the broader public, were exposed to a deeply misleading, unfair, and untrue picture of plaintiffs. Among other things, the article portrays plaintiffs as having waged an affirmative campaign to harm Blake Lively through planted news stories and the exploitation of bots to shape social media discourse. In fact, as alleged herein and evident in the communications reviewed by the Times, plaintiffs' aims were purely defensive, not offensive, and they were themselves taken aback by the groundswell of public support for Baldoni, which was organic. Notwithstanding the supposition throughout the article, plaintiffs do not control the viewpoints of the online public and were not motivated to harm Blake Lively's reputation. They were concerned, above all, with the protection of Baldoni and Wayfarer. The article therefore portrays plaintiffs in a false light, and the false light created by the article is highly offensive to reasonable people in the plaintiff's position. Plaintiffs are informed and believe, and based thereon, allege that defendants and each of them portrayed plaintiffs in a false light, knowing that the portrayal was false or with reckless disregard for its truth or falsity. This is evident from defendants in each of their possession of private communications directly refuting and contradicting the portrayal of plaintiffs and the central premise of the article, namely that plaintiffs had orchestrated a smear campaign to harm Blake Lively. In addition, defendants and each of them willfully refused to afford plaintiffs meaningful opportunity to respond to the allegations. Defendants contacted plaintiffs concerning the allegations the evening of Friday, December 20th, 2024, providing them until the following morning to respond to extensive, highly inflammatory allegations based on curiously obtained, cherry-picked private communications of uncertain authenticity or accuracy. Thereafter, defendants and each of them published the articles 2 hours before their stated deadline, cutting off plaintiffs' ability to respond before the inevitable feeding frenzy began. As a direct and proximate result of the above described conduct by defendants in each of them, plaintiffs have suffered general and special damages in the amount of not less than $250 million, including damage to plaintiff's reputation and standing in the community, shame, mortification, hurt feelings, embarrassment, humiliation, damage to peace of mind, emotional distress, and injury to their occupation. Although the full nature, extent, and amount of these damages are currently unknown, this complaint will be amended at or before trial to insert such information if such amendment is deemed necessary by the court. Plaintiffs are informed and believe and base thereon allege that the conduct of defendants in each of them was malicious, as that term is defined in California Civil Code Section 3294 as follows. A. Plaintiffs are informed and believed and based thereon allege the defendants in each of them depicted plaintiffs in defamatory manner in conscious disregard of plaintiffs' legal rights. B. Plaintiffs are informed and believed and based thereon allege that defendants in each of them intended to injure plaintiffs by the defamatory statements in the article. Defendants' conduct, therefore, warrants an award of punitive and explanatory damages against each of the defendants. Third, cause of action and promissory fraud. Plaintiffs against all defendants. Plaintiffs incorporate by reference each and every allegation set forth in paragraph 1 through 142, inclusive as if set forth fully herein. On or about Friday, December 20th, 2024, at approximately 9:45 Eastern, Tui of the Times emailed plaintiffs concerning the forthcoming publication of the article. Tui laid out a series of highly inflammatory allegations involving plaintiffs purportedly derived from a review of the private communications that the Times had taken possession of. The Times offered plaintiff until noon Eastern the following day to respond to the allegations, provide additional relevant information, and correct inaccuracies. Plaintiffs are informed and believed, based thereon alleged that the Times had been coordinating with Blake Lively and or her team to align the publication of the article with the filing of Lively's CRD complaint, a document that was not publicly available and had to have been provided to defendants by Blake Lively and or her team. Although plaintiffs strongly believe that the Times had not afforded them remotely enough time to meaningfully respond to the allegations, correct inaccuracies, or even verify the authenticity of their unlawful obtained private communications, they fully intend to make use of that brief window to correct the record as best they could. Plaintiffs justifiably relied on the express representation of defendants and each of them that plaintiffs had until noon Eastern on December 21st, 2024 to do so. However, the Times published the article without warning at 10:11 Eastern. That is key to this, you guys. That is key. Cutting off plaintiffs' ability to do so and catalyzing a feeding frenzy. Plaintiffs are informed and believed and based thereon allege that defendants in each of them reach out to plaintiffs to pay lip service to journalistic ethics and fundamental fairness and never intended or warranted for plaintiffs to respond. Plaintiffs are informed and believe and based thereon allege that defendants in each of them intended for plaintiffs to rely on their false promise, which plaintiffs did, in fact, due to their detriment. As a result and proximate result of the above described conduct of defendants and each of them, plaintiffs have been harmed in the amount to be proven at trial. Fourth cause of action, breach of implied in fact contract. Plaintiffs, by reference, each and every allegation set forth in paragraphs 1 through 151 inclusive, as if set forth fully herein, as alleged herein on or about Friday, December 20th of 2024, at approximately 9:45 p.m. Eastern, TUI of the Times emailed plaintiffs concerning the forthcoming publication of the article. TUI laid out a series of highly inflammatory allegations involving plaintiffs purportedly derived from review of the private communications that the Times had taken possession of. Through their express written words, defendant offered plaintiffs until noon Eastern in the next morning to respond to the allegations, provide additional relevant information, and correct inaccuracies. Plaintiffs accepted defendant's offer, which created an implied in fact contract between the parties whereby the Times would refrain from publication for a brief period in exchange for a substantive response to allegations and additional relevant information and confirmation of authenticity, accuracy, and completeness of the relied upon communications. Plaintiffs performed in accordance with this mutual understanding. Defendants breached the implied in fact contract by publishing the article at 10:11 Eastern a.m. in direct violation of their express representation to plaintiffs. As a direct and proximate result of defendants' foregoing breach, plaintiffs were deprived of the benefit of the bargain in that they lost the opportunity to meaningfully access and respond to false, misleading, extremely inflammatory portrayal of their actions and character. As a direct and proximate thereof, plaintiffs suffered harm in amount to be proven at trial. And then this is the prayer for relief. And again, you guys can read this and freeze it for yourself. And then it is signed and dated. And again, these are the attorneys for the plaintiffs. You guys can screenshot them. And then as we scroll all the way down to the last page, they have a demand for a jury trial. And it is signed. And these are his lawyers. And that is the last page of this document, ending on page 87. We finally got through this document, you guys. This has been a lot. I am actually very intrigued by this case in particular, as you have a situation where you have an A-list actress married to another A-list actor going after someone that's literally is just coming into this game on a wide scale level and having to suffer through these allegations, as of right now, allegations. I want to see all of this spelled out in court. I definitely want to know you guys' opinion. And again, share this, like this. I really worked hard to get through this, you guys. This was a lot of reading. But please share your opinions. Donate to this channel. I'm trying to get better equipment for this channel for 2025. Like, share. Again, we have other cases we're reading through. And until next time, thank you for joining me for this last chapter. Chapter 17. It's been an honor. I love you guys. Love Nation. Until next time. Bye, guys. Love you all. And thank you.